Hi, it's Zaida. With all this drama going on in the CN community about the Lunar Year rewards and whatnot, and the patch 4.4 being right around the corner, I think it's about time we actually discuss the reward system in Genshin. Let's look over it as a whole and underline what the main issue with the Primogem distribution in the game is, and how this ignites the controversy surrounding the current drama situation. But before we do that, let's analyze the wishing system in Genshin because, in my opinion, that's where the main problems arise. As a lot may know, content creators, developers, and many players consider characters to be the most important content in the game. And most of the cool, important characters are unfortunately 5 stars. And it would be fine if it wasn't for how you obtain these 5-star characters. Wishing and wishing alone. No events, no tickets, or cashback systems. Only by wishing you can obtain these coveted 5-star characters. And the wishing system is unfortunately a rabbit hole of its own, so I will just mention one thing, and that getting a limited 5-star character takes on average 105 pulls, but in reality, a lot of the times players need more than that, up to 160 pulls. And that is, according to my calculations, up to 25,600 of the premium currency or Primogems. And you can already tell that that is quite a lot, not just for a free-to-play player, but also for a spender. And it's a shame, because all of the content creators and the Genshin fans all talk about the characters. Now let's look over the reward system, and what ways for obtaining this Primogem currency are available in the game. And spoilers ahead, it is honestly a nightmare. And I really want to address this in this video. Hoyoverse just doesn't offer enough Primogems for players overall, and it's not just the rewards that are bad. The whole game's rewarding system is very, very greedy. Currently, there are 6 main ways of obtaining premium currency in the game. Mail, exploration, events, Spiral Abyss, dailies, and of course, the credit card. The first option is rarely used to obtain currency, but players get some from redeeming codes and during maintenance breaks or bug fixes. All in all, you get about 6 pulls per patch. Fast, easy, simple, and I love it. Now let's dive into exploration. Genshin offers a vast open world where chests are scattered everywhere. However, wink wink, you need 80 common chests to get 1 pull, which is already absurd when you put it that way. Or that's 32 exquisites, or 16 precious chests, or 16 luxurious chests just for 1 pull. And that's just for 1 pull. Now, given that the latter ones are very rare and usually require a lot of time to unlock, let's just focus on the main ones you'll be finding during your playtime, and those are the commons and exquisites. They're usually locked behind puzzles or enemies, and let's just say it takes about 2 minutes, A, to clear the puzzle or enemies, and B, get to the next chest location. So 2 minutes kind of sounds fair. Now, even under the assumption that all of the chests you'll find by some chance are exquisite chests, you'll still need 64 minutes, that's more than an hour, just to get a single pull. However, this assumption is just not practical because you'll be finding common chests, you'll be finding puzzles that take longer to unlock. Besides, you'll be taking breaks, you'll be looking at your phone, you'll be doing something else. So I feel like it's safe to assume that it'll take you about 1.5 hours of exploration just to get a single pull. That means it will take you 15 hours of opening chests to actually get a single 10 pull. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? Now, I know there are other systems like the Fountain and Fontaine or the Sakura and Inazuma, there are quests, and also there are Shrines of Depth that all give you bonus Primogems, and it does add up. But again, quests take a lot of time, especially if you try to enjoy the story and try to read the dialogues. And if we're talking about the other systems like the Fountain or the Statues of the Seven, on average, you have to 100% explore a whole sub-region until you get, like 2 extra pulls and 60 primos? That is laughable. So even with these bonuses, I'd say it still takes around 12 hours to reach 10 pulls for a casual player who's not like min-maxing his exploration. Now, if we return back to my previous calculations, it will take an average of 130 hours of exploration just to reach 160 pulls to basically guarantee a limited 5-star character. That is insanity. Then there are also events, and as I explained in my previous video, these events are becoming more stale and boring. And most events take so much time to complete. And all of these mini events, they usually give 420 Primogems. And in my experience, it takes at least an hour to complete one event. And even though it does sound better than exploring the world, there are only a few of these events per patch. So it only results in 14 pulls if you complete all of the events during a patch. And mind you, a patch is not a month. A patch is 42 days, which is almost 1.5 months. And so just in comparison to other games, it just feels like these events are just so meaningless. So little rewards for the time it takes to complete these events. And then there's the Spiral Abyss, which is just laughable. Most players can't complete it, and I know that some don't even attempt it. But let's just say that you complete half of it every rotation. Congrats, you earn yourself 5.5 pulls per patch. Great. And now the last method to obtain premium currency in this game is the daily commission method. After 2.5 years of playing this game, I just hate dailies. But because Primogems are so scarce, players feel obliged to log in every day and complete their dailies, even though you only obtain half a pull, less than a half a pull per day. There's no systems like streaks or anything. Yeah, if you log in every day, you'll get yourself about 16 pulls per patch, which is great. Sarcasm, by the way. Now you can definitely see how greedy this system is. How basically, if you want to get yourself a 5-star character, you need to grind this game. Literally. So yeah, now I imagine someone will definitely go out their way and tell me that, you add everything up and you'll see that you get more Primogems than that. And it only takes 3 months to guarantee yourself a limited 5-star character. It doesn't. It takes 3 months of grinding this game non-stop to guarantee yourself a 5-star limited character. Spending 100 hours per patch in Genshin is just no-lifing the game. And for a normal person, it's just easier to swipe, and that's why people continue to swipe, even though there's all this backlash going on in the community right now. The reality is that most people don't closely follow Genshin content or Genshin news. And that's the reason why players are happy about these 10 fates every year. Most, it feels like a lot for free. 10 fates is like 10 less hours of exploration, or 10 less hours of events. And 3 fates on top of that is like, oh my god, how generous of you, Hoyoverse. Great job, we love you. And honestly, it does logically feel that these rewards are kind of appropriate. I wouldn't go as far as to say that this is a blessing, but it would take a lot of time elsewise to grind these 10 fates. And of course, I'm not approving Hoyoverse by any means, and I'm just applying logic and making comparisons. And from my perspective, the core issue here is not the amount of the lunar year rewards or the anniversary rewards we get every year. The main problem here is the rewarding system as a whole. It's just not enough and it feels like a time sink. So this is what I propose to change. First of all, up the daily rewards. 100 Primogems for dailies. Not a full pull, but at least it feels like an actual reward for logging in. And then increase the overall event rewards. Let's just say an appropriate amount would be 1,000 Primogems for each small event we get, and then 1,600 Primogems or a full multi for a flagship event. And honestly, I feel like the other systems can stay relatively the same as they are right now, maybe with a few tweaks here and there. But now I want to hear you. How would you change the game? How would you change the rewarding system in Genshin? Or do you disagree with me entirely? I would love to hear your arguments in the comments. Anyways, this was Zaiha. Bye.